The winds from the north carried his ship further into the unknown. Leif Erikson, the son of Eric the Red, gazed at the horizon, knowing that ahead of him lay something greater than just land. It was an opportunity. It was destiny. The year 1000. Leif Erikson, the son of the famous Viking Eric the Red, stood at the threshold of the greatest journey of his life. The Vikings were masters of navigation, and their ships, the Drakkar, powerful and swift, sailed the waters of the North Sea, claiming new lands. Leif was already known as an experienced seafarer, but his voyage was set to be more than just a quest for gold and glory. It was a journey into the unknown, to Vinland. Leif was born around 970 AD in Iceland. His father, Eric the Red, was famous not only for his voyages but also for founding the first Viking colony in Greenland after being exiled from Iceland. His life was full of adventures, and Leif inherited his spirit of exploration and ambition. But what awaited Leif on his journey across the ocean? The tales and myths surrounding the land of Vinland were as ancient as the Vikings themselves. Vinland was a legendary land where, they said, vineyards grew, and the land was rich in resources but unexplored by Europeans. In 999 AD, Leif Erikson, following his father's guidance, set sail. It is known that according to his accounts, he first arrived in Greenland, where he encountered the native Inuit people and prepared his crew for the long sea voyage. But Leif didn't know that his expedition would not only be about discovering new land, but also about encountering an unknown world full of secrets and dangers. The year 1000, Leif and his crew set sail from Greenland. Historical records suggest that they headed westward and soon reached the shores of North America, where Leif first set foot on what would later be known as Vinland. This event marked one of the earliest known contacts between Europeans and North America. But what did they find? Upon arrival in Vinland, Leif and his crew found themselves on the coast of what is now Canada. It was not what they expected. The forests surrounding their camp were filled with strange animals they had never seen before, and odd sounds echoed, possibly from the local tribes. Leif called these lands Vinland due to the abundant vegetation, and according to legends, vineyards that were supposed to grow in these regions. However, Leif and his team soon faced problems. Initial relations with the local tribes, likely the ancestors of modern Canadian indigenous peoples, were not always peaceful. Tensions grew, and soon the Vikings found themselves in conflict with the locals. As a result of these skirmishes, Leif was forced to return to Greenland after several months in Vinland. 1010 AD, Leif returned to Greenland, but his expedition left a mark on history. His tales of Vinland became widely known, and although Leif himself did not establish permanent settlements there, his journey inspired other Vikings to continue exploring the New World. Thorvald Eriksson, Leif's brother, and Thorfinn Karlsson would continue exploring these lands in the following decades. But their attempts to settle would prove just as difficult. 1025 AD, 25 years after Leif's first voyage, the Vikings would again try to establish settlements in Vinland, but these efforts would be short-lived. By the end of the 11th century, the Vikings would finally abandon these lands without leaving lasting colonies. But even centuries later, Leif Erikson is remembered as one of the first Europeans to reach the shores of North America. His voyage marked a pivotal moment in the history of great discoveries. Although Vinland may not have contained all the riches the Vikings dreamed of, the mere fact of the voyage itself laid the foundation for future explorations. And Leif himself became a part of history as a bold pioneer destined to open a new world, even if only for a brief time. But what happened to Vinland? Did the Vikings manage to establish themselves on these lands? What secrets does this mysterious land hide? To be continued in the next episode.